Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mox Monkeys Podcast. I'm Adam,
I'm Zeke.
I'm Rowan.
and today we're all here to talk about a variety of different things. Most notably, getting into Canlander, as well as some tournaments we've been getting into locally.
Aw.
But before any of that, we have our card of the week. Rowan, would you like to start?
Sure. My card of the week is going to be Mental Misstep.
Okay.
Now, we've all played it before in our blue decks. And I play it in blue decks too, but I'm specifically talking about playing it in non-blue decks. Like if you're a D&T deck, or like a White X aggro deck, or maybe even Rakdos aggro. It is the cleanest answer to the best cards. In Magic, the best cards do more than what you pay for. So oftentimes a good card is going to be a 1 mana kind of like focus of the game. Like if you play a turn 1 Ragavan, Ocelot Pride, Ancestral Recall, that's going to really shift the direction of the game. But if you have Mental Misstep, no they don't. If you're playing aggro, what's the worst thing that could happen to you?
Lose.
Barrogoyf.
Barrogoyf.
Anything with lifelink.
I'm thinking, well, true, but I'm thinking maybe they have, Swords or Path or Bolt to get rid of your creature. Save them.
Yeah.
Maybe you're playing against a combo deck and they Mystical Tutor. It's a clean answer, and a lot of people don't think about non-blue decks playing Mental Misstep. And I put it in mono green, I put it in my Boros deck, and I put it in a check pile list that was blue but didn't play any counter spells but the free ones. And of course, it's so clean. Again, it was restricted in Vintage, banned in multiple formats, not pointed here. Play it in your non-blue decks, please.
I will say, you mentioned it. I think the element of surprise is really nice because
Yeah.
as a mono red deck, no one's expecting you to have a counter spell.
Yeah.
And just being able to pull one out of your when you just really need it can be game saving.
And if you're on the draw and it's turn 1, it's like, great, I'm going to counter whatever they do. They're not expecting that.
I will say
My biggest thing that I have trouble with is like figuring out what to cut for it, because it's like,
Yeah.
it's just so hard to find cuts for your deck, and then finding one for like a counterspell that can do a lot, but it is still niche.
it's narrow.
Like it's like when you draw it late, it's like great.
This is true for
But
all
like,
counterspells.
but I mean that is true with all counterspells. But I mean we're trying to high roll in Canadian Highlander, right? So
Yeah.
do you like how I say Canadian Highlander? Hi, it's 11 in the morning and I'm drunk.
But also, you drink without me?
You're so drunk you didn't even know you were drunk.
Oh, okay. But again, high rolling, if their high roll is an Ancestral or a Mystical Tutor, no, it's not.
Yeah, I definitely want to try it more. I haven't put it in my Rakdos deck, and I
I
want to
do
try
think it's a card that's gotten a lot better as the format has sped up. So there's a lot of older players who still remember, myself among them, who remember the old days of like Keranos and Frost Titan. But times are not there. You got to speed up. You got to catch up, and Mental Misstep helps you do that.
I can dig it.
I like it. That's my card of the week, Mental, the Misstep.
My card of the week is Ouroboros. I know it's not that hot of a take because that card's cracked in half. But guys, this card is so insane. I think I've lost one game after resolving this spell, because you got to have removal right away. Otherwise, your lightning bolts don't do anything anymore, and like all your red burn is just like bad. And if you've just gone like dork, Ouroboros, and now all your dudes are huge, and then the following turn, they're
Again.
like.
Question. It says at the beginning of combat, put a counter on all creatures equal to its power.
Equal to Ouroboros' power. So.
It doesn't say upkeep. It doesn't make you wait.
No, you do it right away, which is great.
If you already have beaters in play and then you play it, they get counters. Get in there.
Yeah.
Second turn, even more.
And if you have any other +1/+1 counter synergy or pump, just like lying around. Like I had a game where I combined it with it's the Saga that was in the Jund deck at the Huntsmaster's Redemption.
Yes.
Yeah, so you tutor for that, and then you cast it, and then it gets +2/+2, so you're immediately giving your whole team plus +3/+3 and 2 things trample. It's just like GG. So if you're playing green in a creature deck, play Ouroboros, you won't regret it.
It might be really good in like the Bant Nadu decks, because a lot of those have like the mid-range backup plan of not.
I think a lot of them are playing it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then I stand corrected.
It's very powerful
But again,
to get
it's a
off
good
a green
card.
sub.
It's just one of those cards that wins the game, and
Yeah.
it's good. Hot take, I know. Good card that's good and standard is good.
I mean, I think there's something to be said for telling our friends about new cards that maybe they haven't exactly caught up yet. I
Sure.
know for myself, it's like, it always takes me a bit, especially if a card is good and standard and therefore expensive.
Right.
Yep.
to
That
get
is the
a
other
good
thing,
copy.
is it does come with a price tag right now. But if you have the cash and you're willing to spend it, I do think it's worth it if you're playing green. And I know green is like a little sus right now. It's not like the best it's ever been, but I have a couple green decks and I played in all of them and it rips. So Ouroboros, hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Good
Art
and
is
green
phenomenal
creature
too.
decks. Yeah, I mean, in that same trend of 4 drops that win the game, I'm going with Enduring Curiosity. Enduring Curiosity, 4 mana, 4/3. Whenever any of your creatures hit an opponent, you draw a card, and Flash.
Flash is hot.
It's so good.
It's like a. I think 4 drops should win you the game. That's kind of just how it is nowadays. If your 4 drop is played and goes unanswered, you win the game. As with Ouroboros, as with something like Undermountain Adventure, Seasoned Dungeoneer, even like Palace Jailer does kind of win you the game if you go unanswered.
Rip Questing Beast.
That does swing.
Yeah.
Swing for a lot. It's not nothing. But the thing I really like about this one is that Flash is such a powerful dynamic. It lets you play it, and your opponent essentially has exactly the moment before you untap to answer it. And they have to answer it with like swords or path.
Yeah, because it just comes back
Yeah. And even just
into
having
something
that,
that's harder to remove.
If they bolt it,
Yeah.
you're like, great, I have this enchantment.
Yeah.
I'm going to draw some cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And-
just like, it feels really good in like a mid-range or aggro strategy where you are kind of low on resources towards that middle of the game, and just to flash in a thing that is a beater that also refills your hand is just so gas.
I
Like,
think in Demir tempo it's hot. Honestly, I think it might be worth trying in Jeskai. Jeskai has a very high barrier for cards because you're just playing the best 100 cards you can. But if you're on a more creature heavy, Darcy's, your Dread Hordes,
I feel like in a
think-
more mid-range Jeskai list.
Yeah.
And like you said, the flash element is so good because it's that classic. I have the classic, Esper Tempo play of I have Counterspell, I have Threat with Flash. I can do one or the other.
There is no right answer. You can't play around the things I have because no matter what, you're going to choose a bad option.
Well, like at its floor, if you have nothing else, you flash it on the end step, you attack, and you draw a card, and you deal. It's a 4/3.
It's 4/3.
Yeah, I mean that's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's awesome. It's kind of like on the subtlety kind of thing where like it can do something else, but it can also just be a flash flyer that you
Sometimes it's
just
a body.
attack.
And if you attack with it and something else, and they block it, you're still going to draw a card from the other creature, and it'll come back as the enchantment forever.
That's free real estate.
Free real estate.
That's value.
That's how you win games. Card advantage.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
This has been the Mox Monkeys Cards of the Week.
Shall we transition?
Yeah, now we're going to pivot a little bit. We're going to talk about some tournaments that we've been playing in and how we did. I think we'll save Adam for last
Because he did it the best.
because he did super bad and he sucks at Magic. Rowan, would you like to give us a scoop?
Gladly. This spring, there have been a slew of events locally. There was the main one, LDXP, which was, I believe, in the beginning of March. Is that right?
Sounds about right.
Yes. I was unable to go to that, but the weekend before and the weekend after, I was at 2 different events. The first one was in Phoenix Comics and Games in
Yes.
Seattle, Washington. That one you were at also.
I was.
I did okay. I went 2-2. I was playing Jeskai. That was really fun. I mean, I just loved playing Jeskai, even though I'm not the best at it. It's super fun.
It's a hard deck.
Yeah, one of my matches was a Jeskai mirror, and that was like, I lost game 1, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit up now. I'm going
Reverse sweep time.
to really Jeskai max here and do everything right. You see, if you do things right, you win games. And so that's how I won games 2 and 3.
It's hard to do things right. I will say.
I would agree doing things right wins games.
Yeah. I went to the same event. I played Esper Flash, and I went 1 and 3. And I have a newfound respect for blue players. Because, look, it's hard to make the right decisions with Ponder turn 1, because you see the after effects on turn 6, and you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
I should have went top bottom instead of bottom top with this preordain. I should have figured out a different arrangement of cards so that I drew the card I needed. Then I fetched and shuffled away the one I didn't.
And
with
if you're
Ponder.
not like sure on your matchup, you're like,
Oh,
Is this
absolutely.
mulligan
Game one is
good?
hard.
Like, is this creature removal going to do anything? And then they start playing Academy, and you go, uh-oh.
That's why we don't ponder on turn 1, we surveil on turn 1 now.
There's so many little choices that...
And also, shuffle more ponders. Shuffle more ponders! Your cards that you look
Yeah.
at suck. Draw something else.
Shuffle away 3 medium cards and then draw a land and then feel bad about it.
Or only ponder with a fetch. But again, you're right. Jeskai, hard, good, and fun.
I would even go further, blue decks. I think blue and Scry and Surveil offer so much like very powerful like card selection, but making the right choices is really hard.
Yeah.
I've gained a newfound respect for them.
Blue decks are fun. It's fun to play interaction.
Cantrips are good. Ancestral Recall is good. I probably cast it once that whole tournament.
Whoa. Hot take alert. Hot take alert.
Recall to 7. You heard it here first. Yeah. Then the second event I went to the 2 weeks after was at Wizards Keep in Kent, Washington. And that one I did pretty good. I went 3-2, but I did make 5th place out of 17 people, I believe. That was, for me, a good tournament.
What deck did you bring?
I was on Boros, mid-range.
Boros.
My version, which is very medium Boros, very DNT-esque, very initiative-based, very disruptive, get-in-there aggro deck. It's my main tournament deck because it's one that I have all the cards for. I have the Mox Diamond, I have all the fetches, I have the Mana Crypt, and I think a Mox Pearl would be preferable so I could play more pointed cards like 4th and Saga, but Mana Crypt is still good. The turn 1 Mana Crypt play is... I did do a 1.
Mana Crypt is 5 points for a reason. It's really good.
Turn 1 Screaming Nemesis is pretty good.
It's pretty okay.
I won that game before I played my first land.
Yeah.
But
I mean, even just a 2-drop on turn 1 with Mana Crypt is fine. Like, that's still good enough, too. You know?
Yeah. Something we don't talk about enough here is Boros deck. Like, there are many variants of that deck, and my version is a little boomer, a little unupdated, but I do have so many hate pieces in this deck that it really is very mid-range DNT-esque and unique compared to like the big Boros or like Boros aggro.
Did you just say we don't talk enough about Boros on episode 2? That was a joke. That was a joke.
We've never
joking.
talked about it. We'll have the Boros episode in a few months. Don't worry about it. But that event I lost to Nadu deck, which kind of blew because I have historically, that deck I feel is pretty good against Nadu. Because you have like your Avermind Sensor, your removal suite, because like if they do play Nadu, you just do the thing. But this guy was really good at pivoting to the mid-range game plan in his Nadu deck. Like Bristly Bill is a good card.
That's what Nadu's strength is it's like it can combo deck, but it can also just like play a bunch of creatures.
You're a creature deck? Cool, here's my creatures.
They're pretty good.
Plus blue
Yeah.
to draw cards. Yeah. Also lost a 4-color lands combo, which is a deck that grinds, and I'm also a deck that can grind, but his removal suite kind of got me, so I wasn't able to really get in there.
It sucks that you lost. I'm so happy to see Land still out there doing things. I feel like there was a long period. I used to play pre-COVID, like 2019, and Lands was a menace. I would always play at least one matchup against Lands, often 2. You just see it everywhere. I think, quite frankly here, I think we have to give credit to Serge Jaeger, who is one of the titans of the format, did a lot to popularize it, and popularize Lands as a big, huge deck. But I think, given modern card design, it's harder to make that style of deck work because it needs a lot of time to set up, to do things, to play an extra land a turn for Crucible, and, get those extra lands to mean something, not just die turn 4.
But that deck did get Ice Tail Explorer.
It did.
It's phenomenal.
Got that, and it also got Bright Glass Gear Hulk, which just gets
that's
fast
real.
buns with an orb.
That's a real card.
Yeah, I did lose
It's just-
2 matches to that deck because of Bright Glass.
No, Bright Glass is nuts.
Like 2 to 4 it, play it, first strike, draw 2 cards.
It's like
That is an
arguably,
E
it's
first
like
card.
arguably one of the best cards they printed like last year. Was it last year, 2 years ago, however long ago?
Who knows?
You could say either. I think.
I mean, I think it's for sure the best card in either drift.
I mean, it gets fast bonnets around our...
Yeah, I mean,
It gets
it's up there.
Time Vault. It gets 0 drops too, which is crazy.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It gets
get
Manifold Key.
It doesn't get Time Vault. It gets 1 drops.
Yes,
It gets Walking
I meant the
Ballista.
key. Thank you.
But you can just get Guide Pride. You can get 2 Mox if you need it.
Soul Ring.
If you need it, but you've already got 4 mana.
You can just
But
get what you need.
the card's crazy.
So
That's
yeah.
Urza Saga. That's a hot one.
Nope.
Yep, but I'll be updating. I want to tune that deck a little more. Next time we have like a serious tournament that's non-proxy, I will be bringing it.
Nice.
And Adam, you went to LDXP, as did you, Zeke.
I did.
I did.
So first, Adam, how'd it go?
It went pretty well. I managed to have a really great tournament run. I just won, then I won again. I won a third time, and then I won a fourth time.
Holy crap.
So that's
I went-
4-0.
Yeah. No losses. Or well, no match losses. I had one or two losses along the way. What was it? I played against Benjamin Wheeler, noted also Titan of the format, who was on Timmy Tinker, which is also sweet. It's a sweet deck.
It's a fun deck.
But it is also a deck that kind of eats its own tail sometimes. You just kind of play a bauble, then an egg, then another bauble, then another egg, then a witching well, then a candy trail. Then you die. And you don't really do anything.
Unless you have Tinker.
You really need the good cards in the deck and not just like a bunch of air.
You need the pieces to line up.
Yeah.
But
That happened once. One other game I
what deck were you on?
down.
What deck were you on for the tournament?
I was on medium red. I should
Medium
clarify.
red. Yeah.
It's a pretty good deck. If you just play fast, play well, I think it's got a lot of the tools to just kill people before they're able to do whatever thing they're trying to do. But it's also got a lot of mid-range tools. One of the games against Benjamin Wheeler, I just managed to grind him out. But it's also, weirdly enough, despite being a mono red deck, it's got a little bit of that death and taxes that you can do. Cemetery Gatekeeper, instead of taxing them on mana, you're just taxing them on life. And often they're not able to deal with it. Eidolon of the Great Rebel does the same thing. Maddening Hex does a lot of work in all
I've
those.
that many times.
And your moons.
Oh yeah, and the
Moon
moons. You can't forget the moons.
Can't forget the moons.
It's, I think against like 60% of the field, you just look at your opener and you're like,
Blood Moon.
I have a mid 2-drop, but I have a moon on 3, and there's like a 80% chance they lose the game.
Moon on 3 can oftentimes win the game. It's a one-card win con.
Oh yeah.
I also think the medium red list is like really good at no proxy tournaments because like some of the decks that like your some of the more aggressive combo decks that would show up typically don't to no proxy tournaments. Although there were like 2-time vault decks, so like who knows?
I
But
was very
race 'em.
worried. I think I matched up against one of those guys relatively early on, and I do think that's one of my worst matchups because they have enough control elements that they're able to just 1-for-1 pretty well, but also they can just jam combo pretty quickly and you just die.
yeah,
Plus, their combo is just completely colorless. So sometimes I will jam a moon on 3. They've already transmuted for the vault, and they just go, I mean, I can't make any blue mana, but it doesn't matter.
yeah. The moon
Because
doesn't
I just
really
have
matter.
4 mana, and that's enough.
And
for
they'll
me.
eventually draw blue mana and then go from there.
Well, not even.
They don't need it,
Yeah, they don't need it for the combo. It's just all colorless.
especially because like they got the Tezzeret tutor now.
Have any of us actually made a vault player play it out? Anytime
Yeah.
they do the thing, I just concede.
Oh, yeah. I made them do it once when I had ring protection.
Oh.
It's like, you can probably kill me, but I don't know if you can.
What are you supposed to do? Just capsize loop everything and then pass?
I think, yeah. They just drew 80% of their deck, bounced all my stuff, and then went, all right, you get a turn. If you can somehow kill me through 20 counter spells plus all of this BS, then hey, you deserve it.
Makes sense.
I could not. And then I died.
Word.
Yeah. But yeah.
I was
medium
also
red.
at the tournament. I was on Rakdos. I had to do a soul spread because I don't own a Mox Jet and a Mox Ruby. I went 3-1, so I did pretty well. I placed 5th, just out of the cash, but I got a bunch of tickets, so that was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, my deck just like really performed really well. I actually matched up against my buddy Jared and Warren
Jared.
from the shop. So like I was playing against 2 people I was really familiar with their decks, and Warren was on lands, and one of the games I was just holding Price of Progress. Like I wasn't really developing the board at all, and he was just pumping out lands and losing life, and I was like, as soon as he gets to 8 life, I'm casting this Price of Progress, and I just did it, and he was just like,
My weakness. No.
so that was fun. I played against someone who, it was kind of a brew, so it wasn't like a super balanced matchup, no shade or anything, but it just like, the deck was like, it was like an Orzhov list, but it was clearly a brew. But it was still fun to play against, and he almost beat me, so
I
it was
respect
close.
the brew. It's
Gotta respect the brew. He was playing Gerard's edict or verdict or whatever.
Gerard's the discard too.
Yeah, it was so sick.
That's
Nice.
that's a flashback from like 2018.
He hit me with that, and I was like, "This is like so good right now."
Yeah.
Like, so that was sick.
I think it's underrated. I'm not sure it's good enough to see play, but it's not that bad.
One of the reasons I won one of those games was that he had both a Bitter Blossom and the new creature Bitter Blossom out, and it was just like killing him, and so I didn't have to do much. So that was fun. I played against Demir Tempo. I got absolutely rolled in the first match,
That's a good deck.
and then the second match I smoked him, and then the third game he kept a shaky keep and was punished for that.
You lost one game. What was that to?
It was to another lands deck, which I would argue is
Oh, cool.
Rakdos' worst matchup.
What was their Lance deck like?
It was like it was just a 4-color pile that does like
No red?
Titania. Yeah, no red. Titania, primetime stuff. Cast Bright Glass Gear Hulk, and I said, okay, show me how you win. And it took them a while to get there, but it's hard to win when you have no lands in play because they strip lock you. So yeah, it was all fun.
Keep your 4
Adam,
landers, guys.
best player in the Pacific Northwest for the time being. So
At least until next LDXP.
I haven't 5-0'd since 2022, so I'll do that again someday soon.
Maybe
Nice.
next LDXP, you'll be the one sitting here telling
Let's
us
do
about
it.
how you won.
And speaking of tournaments and doing well, we're going to now pivot to the main topic, which is getting into
Canadian Highlander.
How the heck do you get into Canadian Highlander?
How do you get into Canadian Highlander when everybody's like, oh, isn't that just Commander with a different Game Changers list?
Now, I'm a little curious here. What exactly do you mean about getting into it? Because obviously you can just show up, right? But the question is sort of, how do you get into it? How do you start building a deck? How do you find a community?
Yeah, so all those things. So my points are going to be aimed towards maybe someone who started playing Commander, really liked Magic, and they want to dip their toes in other formats. And Canadian Highlander is something that they're interested in. So my takes are going to be kind of directed towards someone like that.
Yeah. There's two things to talk about here. One of them is, how do I get into Canadian Highlander? How do I build a deck? How do I figure out what deck is right for me? And the second thing is, how do I find, or more importantly, create a community of people to play with? Because that is something I have a lot of experience with. So I'd love to share about that. But when it comes to building your first deck, what do you guys have to say about that?
So I have a couple bullet points that we can kind of go off of them, if that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
So I think the first thing that you should do is you want to familiarize yourself with the format, especially if you're coming from Commander. Canadian Highlander is different. The cards you play, the things you can do, are similar, but they are just different. Removal that's good in Commander is not necessarily going to be good in Canadian Highlander, because your removal in Commander is going to be more generalized, because you never know what you're going to be up against, and you're always up against 3 other decks.
And oftentimes it'll be 3 or 4 mana, where that should be a card that wins the game.
Like Beast Within is like a reasonable removal spell.
Yeah.
But I think it's actively bad in Canadian Highlander to remove something and then give them a 3/3. Again, a 3/3 is like a
huge.
relevant thing in Canadian Highlander. Which, and I'm speaking from experience because I went from Commander to Canadian Highlander, and so that learning curve for me was difficult. So something that really helped me was just like watching Canadian Highlander content. So watching our stuff.
We got plenty of
Hey.
LRR is great.
Yeah.
Fishy Wizards is great. Rest in peace. There's
Might have to cut that.
they haven't uploaded a video.
They haven't uploaded
in
it.
like
We
5
miss you.
months.
Come back.
They're great. I miss them.
Yeah. The biggest difference between Commander and Canadian Highlander is not the fact that there's no Commander, it's that it's 2 players and not 4.
Yes.
There's no element of politics. There's no element of laying low. You have to do something.
I do think this is one of the greatest upsides of Canlander. When I was playing a lot of Commander, one of the things that annoyed me about the format was the politicking. And there's something beautiful about being able to just sit down and just look your opponent dead in the eyes and be like, I'm trying to kill you. You're trying to kill me. There's honor in that.
The big difference, the way I compare them is, Canlander is 2 guys on the college fencing team showing up for practice. We're doing our best. We're going to give each other feedback after the match, and we're optimizing. But Commander is 4 kids with pool noodles in a pool, where you're smacking each other, and then once you accidentally smack somebody in the eye, they're going to start crying, and everyone's going to be like, "You're mean. Get out of our pool." And that's just a different experience. I'm not going to show up to pool day with a fencing stick or fencing.
I do think the notion that like playing competitive formats is just about like beating the shit out of your opponent. Yeah. It's like that is the goal. Don't get me wrong, but it's not in like the pub stomping way that it's described in Commander.
No,
it's like I'm bringing a deck that I'm trying to win fast and kill you, and you're doing the same thing, and it's fun because we're both kind of on the same page. Yes. Mm-hmm. So I do think a strength of Canadian Highlander is that everybody like agrees what we're doing.
For sure.
And I think that is the strength of just competitive formats in general.
And if that's something you're looking for, you'll get it here.
I will say, as a caveat to all this Commander discussion, there is, if you're playing CDH, I actually think CDH is a fairly strong jumping point for Canland.
Very much so.
I think the fact that it is competitive 100 card singleton, yes, the fact that you have to actually deal with like people trying to kill you with creatures and a 20-point life total is a real change. But I do think like 60% of CDH decks, you could port over into Canlander and have it at the very least be functional.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like something
a few
like
of them.
Magda, which is incredibly Commander-centric, right? It's a dwarf deck that only works with this dwarf card. You can't make that work. That's not functional.
I'm going to be a little, I think I'm using the word right here, devil's advocate, is that, and I haven't played CDH in a long time, so I might be wrong. 90% of CEDH decks are combo control.
Yeah.
And a lot of that format is combo control mirrors, 4-player all day, but Canlander is the biggest misconception that I've heard from Commander players about Canlander is that it's all combo. Because they think strong magic, they think combo. Yeah. And Canlander, by design with the points list, is meant to be aggro, combo, and control are all equally positioned. Mm-hmm. And so if you're somebody who's not familiar with combo and just wants to play beaters and attack with creatures, there's a deck for that. There's multiple decks for that. Mono green, green red.
Also, to be fair, combo is very good right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's very good, but it's not. CDH is like combo is kind of every deck. You can occasionally see some stacks, but like an aggro CDH deck is not really a thing.
We don't want to get too deep into CDH at the moment, but. I think the best parallel for CDH to Canadian Highlander is the mindset. Mm-hmm. I think the deck pivoting. I do think it's not going to be as easy as you're describing. Mm-hmm. I think there's like
you definitely
50 cards that you just can't.
You'll have to take a scalpel or maybe sometimes
like Mystic Study is not good in Canadian Highlander. It's incredible in CDH.
Oh yeah.
Mystic Remore.
But I think you can keep the soul of the deck is kind of the point. Like there's a Tivit combo deck that uses Time Sieve to take infinite turns, and I think you could actually port that to Canlander and have it be functional.
That's banned.
So this actually goes great into my next point.
Okay.
Is for all my brewers out there, I know if you want to get into Canadian Highlander, you're like, I'm gonna whip up something that these boys have never seen before. I personally, from my personal experience, go to the Canlander Winners database, find something you like, and just start there. Just start there. Mm-hmm. You can brew.
Yeah. Brewing is great.
But until you're really familiar with what is like possible, I think you're going to find yourself being frustrated that your brew isn't working.
Yeah.
And that might lead to you having some bad vibes.
Remember, people are trying to kill you.
Yes. Yeah. And like...
your build that you're trying to do can be optimized, but it might be good to get into the format with an established deck to get a feel for what it's like.
Yeah. So like, and if you want to just play like a mid-range pile, you can just like pick up a Jund list, and you're gonna do pretty well as long as you're like competent.
Speaking about those tournaments, there were a few people that showed up with just like, this is just Jund Trade Binder. This is just a bunch of stuff that I have. I'm still on Thragtusk. I'm still on Questing Beast. I'm still on Deathrite Shaman. But like mid-range stuff can absolutely win if you just like
absolutely
build a bunch of really good cards. You're trying to interact with your opponent. You're playing Mana Leaks maybe. You're playing Thoughtseizes. You're just playing good stuff. That can absolutely win games and even matches.
Yeah, if you want to get into the format, I just think you want to kind of set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you need to like net deck and come to Canadian Highlander night with the best deck anyone's ever seen. Mm-hmm. So you should just destroy.
You can do that.
You can do that. And good luck to you. But I just think you'll have more fun playing with a deck that somebody has worked on, has tuned, knows what they're doing, and then you can kind of see what works for you and what doesn't, what you like, what you don't, and then that's a good jumping off point.
And make edits.
Yeah, and make edits.
If you're looking at doing that to get your first deck by net decking, it's a really good idea to watch a bunch of videos, look at a bunch of decks, find a deck that you really think speaks to you. Like if you want to do combo stuff, you'll find one or two really cool combo decks and be like, this looks awesome, I want to play it. Or if you look at mono white D&T and you say, this is my deck, yeah, build that. There's a deck for everybody here because every deck archetype is viable, 100%.
Yeah, and like no one's gonna be like, "Oh, did you rip this from the Canadian Highlanders winners list, you loser?" It's like I did that last week. Like I did that last week.
Yeah.
And like just because like I'm unfamiliar with this deck, I want to build it. This is a good starting point. And so Commander has a very like brew centric vibe to it, which I think is a strength of Commander because it's really fun to just like throw a bunch of shit together and see what happens.
Yeah.
But Canadian Highlander does have the competitive aspect to it, where it's like the goal is to win quickly and efficiently and stuff. And so, you know, your 7-mana sorcery that does something is cool in Commander, but it's just like not going to work here. It can.
It's got to be a really
everything has an asterisk where you can do whatever you want.
Behold the Beyond is actually pretty good. Does he play?
Yep.
I mean, do your thing. But so I would just, that would be my advice is like, if you want to get into Canadian Highlander, watch the North 100. Find a deck that you like and just copy that deck and just start there.
Oh yeah.
You know.
And I mean, there's a lot of room to move in copying a deck that you like. Yeah. There's a lot of good Canlander decks out there. I'm confident that if you're a Magic player, you can almost assuredly find some deck that speaks to some part of you that is also a deck that can win games.
Yeah. For sure.
Another thing kind of jumping off of that is knowing the deck that you're going to start playing. So like so hypothetically, if you were to start with combo, I would not recommend starting with a combo deck.
That's what I did.
It can be hard.
It can be hard because
I think if you love combo,
go for it. I think like for your average player, I think starting with just like a mid-range pile is probably going to be. I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah.
This is what was good for me. Is I started with Jund, and Jund really helped me get in the format because I learned what worked and what didn't. All the cards were good. And like my win-loss ratio was like pretty decent because like, you know, you just Jund and then you Jund in.
I do feel like there's so much variety even in the word combo, right? Because Paradox Academy is a combo deck, I'd say.
Yeah.
But it has so many moving pieces. It's incredibly complex. Whereas if you just like...
And that's my point.
Yeah, well, no. If you just do Flash Hulk, I think you could give a Commander-only player an hour, you tell them the basic combo of Flash Hulk,
Yeah.
and they'd be able to put it together. I think they'd get
there's a difference, though, between
above
understanding what the
50%
combo is and executing
Learning
it
how
in
to
game.
get there.
It's not difficult to tutor for Flash and to Protean Hulk.
that's
But
right.
it is difficult to play around it when you've been hand attacked and your life total is at 2 and you're holding a bunch of counter spells and one tutor that doesn't get the piece you need. Like there's a lot of give and take. And so like combo control I think is one of the more difficult archetypes to play because you need to know what to counter and what to control and when to hand attack and all that stuff and like when to go for your combo. And then like if you do it wrong, it's hard to mess up Flash Hulk because you do the thing. But like Academy, you can like dirtle out pretty easily. And
I can see the point in the sort of, it's more, mid-range is more forgiving. Aggro is more forgiving if you make something that's not the right choice. But picking the wrong pick of what to get on your turn to sleight of hand can be game losing in a combo deck.
Yeah.
I can see it.
And I'm just coming from the point of like a casual Commander player trying to get into the stuff. Setting yourself up for success, I think, is good. Somebody's so popular.
Silencing that. Sorry.
So yeah, know your deck.
I'll also, one final point I want to make is about cost. I think a lot of people are intimidated about Canlander because I was
Cards are expensive.
I was looking at a deck.
Duels are expensive.
I think it was a 20K on Card Kingdom, not sponsored. But it turns out, one, people are very chill about proxies. I think we all realize that this is an eternal format with Moxen, and Moxen costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes. Even duels. Like, if you're a 2-color deck or more, you generally should be playing duels.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of a reason not to.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're like Uber Blood Moon, but you're not that Blood Moony.
Even then, I'm pretty sure Blue Moon, which is
Blue Moon
like
definitely plays Volk.
4.
Yeah, you play
Falls.
Vulcan fetches, but like, What I've noticed, I remember when I first started playing Canlander, the consensus among a lot of stores and communities was you can run
Gold border?
gold border cards, the international edition cards, and that was like oh yeah, they're not that expensive. They're only $1,000 each, which sucks.
Is less expensive, but it's still...
Yeah. What
Dude,
I've
proxy the fuck out of your decks.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Not me. What I've noticed is that even tournaments now will be like, yeah, I'll proxy, whatever. And some will be like, you can have 10 proxies, which 10 is enough. If you're an established Magic player who understands that a deck might be a couple $100, chopping off those top 10 most expensive cards makes most decks, like $200.
Oh, yeah.
And you might already have like all fetches. And if you do, you're just buying like $100 worth of cards to make a deck.
I think 15,000 of that 20,000 deck that I was looking at was just 2 Moxen.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of that cost is just Moxen and duels.
Yeah, and I've been enjoying Crank
Power
and Bazaar
Nine.
Baghdad. That card is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I remember talking to somebody, and he was telling his fiance, I want to buy a Bazaar Baghdad. And she said, you can do that as long as it costs less than my engagement ring. And he did. Crank that thing. It's such a cool card.
Crank it.
Yeah.
Proxies are great. There's also, if you really don't want to spend that much money, I think you can build a good deck for under $200 that could absolutely win tournaments.
Yep. Shout out to Mono Red.
I looked at medium red. I think I could build a deck for under 100 that could win matches, and I think I could build a deck that could win tournaments for under 300.
Yep. I mean, the only expensive card is like Mana Crypt and the occasional $20.
Mana Crypt's not that bad.
City of Traders.
It
what's
is
gonna
down.
beat
It's
you.
City of Traders and it's Ancient Tomb.
Ancient Tomb.
Ancient Tomb's like 50,
And Chrome Monks.
60. Chrome Monks.
I think Ancient Tomb's pushing 100.
Yeah, it is.
Thereabouts.
Once they put it on the game changers list for Commander, people like got their eyes on it. It's like, this is good. I'm going to start buying.
Yeah, it's a damn good card.
Yep.
Yeah,
You know what's better than 1 mana? 2 mana.
Untap 2 mana.
yeah. Anything else?
I think one last point from Commander to Canadian Highlander.
And then we'll get
is
into community.
community. Yes, is mulligans are different in Canadian Highlander. In Commander, you get a free mulligan, and you have a commander. So essentially, you have 8 cards in your hand, twice.
Yeah.
In Canadian Highlander, you get 7 cards, you get 6, you get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Something that helped me get better at Canadian Highlander is really learning how to mulligan, and there's lots of videos out there. I think Cyclops 8 has a really good learn how to mulligan video. And just, I think that's a skill that it doesn't translate from Commander to Canadian Highlander super well, because I don't feel like you have to mulligan super aggressively in Commander, because depending on your deck, you can just kind of... Your commander makes up for a lot of your deck's weaknesses.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree.
If your commander
I
deck,
assumed you would.
if your commander deck is a 4 mana commander and a 2 mana rock, you're getting it out on turn 3. You're good. Keep it.
Yeah, like you always have the consistency of having something that you can like work towards.
You have a free card that your whole deck is based around.
But like if you're just like starting off with Jeskai and you see like 4 lands and 2 counterspells and a cantrip, you're like, is this a good hand?
It
And
depends.
it's like it depends on your matchup, and so that can be really hard. So like mulliganing, I think you win or lose based on your mulligans a lot of time, you know. And so, I guess my advice is work on mulliganing. And
Mulligan
it's,
more.
It's just
practice
hard.
mulliganing.
It's really hard, and I'm
You
not
gotta-
saying that I'm good at it, because I will be like starting to play and be like, why the heck did I keep this hand? What am I doing?
Yeah.
You know. So
I will say one thing for Commander players. I think the Commander format in general has a lot of variance, right? Soul Ring is probably better than the other 99 cards in your deck, right? Same with like Demonic Tutor, same with Imperial Seal. Game Changers list has helped this a little, but there's still so much variance there. And I think a lot of Commander players have secretly learned the most important part of mulliganing in Canlander. You just mulligan for the really good cards, and all of your other cards suck compared to those. So you just mulligan for those, and then you win.
Yep.
That could be Flash, that could be Mana Crypt, that could be Ancestral.
yeah, but
But
you
if
only
you-
have you have a very limited amount of mulligans.
You just find them, you win. If you find Ancestral and you keep a 4, then
Sounds
you
like-
basically kept a 6.
Sounds like
That's math.
not a skill issue, but a luck issue on your part.
Oh, I guess my bad.
You've got the skill. You
Yeah,
need the
just be lucky. In both Commander and in Canlander. Just be lucky and you'll win games.
100%.
Have you heard of the term bad faith arguing? I feel like that's what you're doing right now.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I can tell.
Anyway,
All right.
something that I would like to talk about as well is how to find people to play
How to
Canlander
play with people, yeah.
How to play with people.
Yeah.
Now, this is not going to be an episode about how to socialize with
People.
who play Canlander, because you all know how to do that. You're all adults. But one thing that can be very hard to do is find people to play Canadian Highlander with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the dating pool anymore, but I will say, having done both, it's harder to find people to play Canlander with than it is to find someone to go on a date with. Sometimes.
Sure.
And I've got a little bit of experience doing a couple of things. I would say, if you're somebody who has been watching Canlander content and wants to play, but doesn't have anybody or any local groups near you, well, first off, check for local groups. One thing that's really important is your local game store probably has a Discord server. Mm-hmm. A lot of Canlander content and discourse runs through Discord. Communication for events, looking for games, there's a lot of that there. If you're not on the official Canlander Discord, make sure you're on that. I'll link that below. And on those servers, oftentimes if you go, like your local servers, if you go into the search function to search Canlander or Canadian Highlander, you might find people that have talked about it before. Mm-hmm. That is where you can find people to reach out to and say, hey, are you still interested in playing? If there is nothing at all, so if you're starting from slate, there's a few things you can do, and a lot of that goes through community. You can put a sign up in your local game store that says, I'm looking for Canlander. Another thing that you can do is on your local Discord server, ask the owners to make a channel for Canadian Highlander. I would say many of the local channels are there because I made that request to put that there, just get the conversation rolling, especially here in South Sound. What is really helpful is putting out that post on that news server saying, hey, my name is whatever. I'm looking at getting into playing Canadian Highlander. I have a lot of decks that I can share. That's another important thing to do. That's a big one. Like, if somebody's like, oh, I'll try that out, that's a really good idea. And then you might have to wait. I did it for one server, and I got a response like 3 months later. Like, hey, if you still want to play, I'm down. Great. And then we did. Mm-hmm. And then people started rolling after that, saw that there was interest, and then you go from there. And now we look at our shop. We had 12 people playing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's sick.
Which is a lot. Like,
I know, like a year ago, it was like us. And
yeah.
Trenton
like 4 to
and
6,
Warren.
What?
Sometimes.
And now, so that game store, our local game store that I used to go to, had Pioneer, Pauper, Modern, all firing weekly a couple years ago.
No, they have One Piece?
Not anymore. They have One Piece, which, shout out to the One Piece card game. People enjoy it. It looks like, because of that, it's a great card game. But we don't play it. We play Magic. Obviously, Commander is firing twice a week and, filling up the store. I've never gone to that because why would I? But Canlander is the second largest event at our game store. And that's probably going to be true for a couple game stores out there because it's like, what else is firing? As great as Pauper is, as great as Pioneer was, I haven't played it in a while. Sure. It's just, we think it's a great format. It gets people in. It does take a little bit of legwork to get a community started, and it does take a little bit of like poking around to find people who are interested. But
lowering that barrier to entry, so like having decks ready to go is huge because like
it's very low stakes.
Some people aren't going to want to do that though because they're like, for me, I was like, oh, I want to build my own deck. I don't want to go until I have a deck, and like so. But some people are just like, yeah, I'll try it out, and so they'll try it once, and then maybe they won't play, maybe they will. But like, lowering that barrier to entry is really huge.
Yes, and in the whole vein of leading a horse to water and making it drink, not everybody is going to want to play. Mm-hmm. You might be all in on it. It's my main format. You might say the same. You might say the same. But if you take 5 random people at Commander night, they'll be like, no, I want to play Commander. Not everybody's going to want to try this.
You can't come out too strong.
Yeah. That's really hard. Like, you can't be like, guys, we want to play Canlander. It's the best format ever. You got to try it. You have to, like, lead them in slowly. And it's so hard to, like, explain what the format is without them going, oh, it's just Commander. Because...
Or them being like, oh, it's just
it's just CEDH.
It's a vintage or whatever.
Yeah. It's
1v1.
Yeah, that's a big,
big and then you say Highlander, they always assume that you run a Commander.
It's weird Commander. Yeah.
That's different Commander. It's not. It's I'm gonna catch some hands for this, but it's Commander, but you take out all the bad parts about it.
I think that's completely wrong, but I think having that argument would take another hour.
All right, that'll be my hot take for next week. But
At some point, we should talk about that, because I think that'd be a very interesting episode.
I do have like a medium take on this.
okay, tangent time.
That is like, if you're trying to get someone into the format, let them win a couple games. Ooh. I'm not saying like throw the match, obviously, but like if you're holding a counterspell and they're clearly like excited that they're doing the thing, just like let them do the thing once.
Don't give them your mediocre deck and then play Jeskai.
Like if they're going off with your academy deck and you have Collector Oof in hand, what if you just like don't play it this game? And what if by you not playing it, they get excited about Canadian Highlander, and now you have another person to play with, and then you can play Collector Oof next week and be like, hey, and then you don't tell them that you let them win. You don't ever do that. Don't be an asshole.
This is great.
I'm pretty sure my buddy
I agree.
who got me into Canadian Highlander let me win a lot.
They already know.
Hindsight, I'm like, oh, he was probably just letting me win, and it worked because now it's my favorite format, and I play with you guys all the time, and we have a podcast.
Yeah,
so
I will say something you can do there that's maybe not exactly letting them win is just try and set up a favorable matchup. Give them the deck with the Barrogoyf and the Triumph of St. Catherine, and you're sitting here playing Lava Spike.
My mono green deck. It's fallen out of favor, but it's a fun deck. Whenever I offer people decks to play, they're always like, mono green, smash, 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 because that's all they know how to do. But it's
fun. Yeah,
it's a fun deck, but it's also not great.
Yeah, okay.
Which is why I try to give people Boros as like a first deck.
I do think there's a balance of like letting them win, but also like showing them what the format's about. So like a big lesson you learn is you don't cast your Mox first. You play your land first, because you cast Mox and then I got Daze and I go, oh,
sorry, buddy.
Well, that was a life lesson that I've learned.
It's not a mistake if you do it once.
If you do it again, though, then that's on you. Or oh, they're tapped out, they're in blue, they might be on Stifle, I'll crack my fetch now. Just those little things. But also, I think another big thing to like helping people get in is like being really cool about helping them make correct plays.
Yeah.
Being like someone tutored and they got something and I was like, so that doesn't work. I feel like you should tutor for something else. And they were like, why? And then I explained why. And then they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. And so then they went and got something else. So just like being like generally cool about things. Don't be a hard ass being like, nope.
No, don't do that.
You tutored for that. You can't get anything else.
Yeah.
Due to the rules. It's like, just be cool.
Yeah. It's I think by nature a casual format. Socially it's casual. It's played competitively, but like, any local community is going to be really chill, really great, I think.
They're generally very good.
And if there is like an established Canadian Highlander
community
and you want to start going, I have never gone to a Canlander thing and someone was like rude or anything. Like Canadian Highlander players are generally pretty chill and they're just excited that you're playing with them.
Being a minority group, there's basically going to be zero gatekeeping because it's trying to grow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will say, I think
there's going to be a bad apple here and there, sure, but like
that's anything.
Yeah. I think there's one important thing that I'm not sure if you mentioned, but that the official Canlander Discord does have a big giant list of all of the different game stores that have local Canlander events. I think that is the best resource if you're looking for something close to you.
Yep.
That's how I found a lot.
Also link below.
That's how I found a lot of different places, of different game stores that I've just dropped by. Occasionally they'll have like a big tournament. I know 1 or 2 people from Portland came up to LDXP. There are 1 or 2 Canadians who came down for LDXP, and I think those are great places to find other Canlander players as well. Or even if you just go to a local MagicCon, just drop by, see if anything Canlander is going on there. I know Vegas is going to have some. I think Portland, SCG Con had a few. Just pop by, see if there's anything happening.
I like.
No.
So, basically, to wrap things up, Discord, great way to find local players. Discord also has their weekly online games. Plenty of ways to play.
Webcam, Xmage, Cockatrice, MitGo, so many ways.
Yes, otherwise known as MTGO.
There's a lot of resources to help you get into the format, and you just gotta. It just takes a little more legwork than other formats because we're a small format, but we're growing, and we want more people to play. This format freaking rules.
Yes.
So.
Hard agree.
All right.
All that said,
I think it's time.
all right.
Hot take, hot take, hot take, hot take.
I've been thinking about this for a while. Now,
Okay.
I want to explain this. I want to paint a picture. I want you to imagine you're sitting there. You've played a savanna, and you've played a tropical island. Your opponent played a Surveil turn 1, classic. You tap 2 mana for a Hermit Druid. Your opponent stares at it. They know Hermit Druid. They know what you're trying to do. They know you're not playing a single basic land in that deck. They know this is not going to get a single card. What this is going to do is it's going to mill 90 cards. Then you're going to cast a lot of things and you're going to win the game. Through Thoracle, through Lotleth Giant, through some convoluted Angel of Glory's Rise combo. They sit there. They stare at this. They tank. And then they Force of Will, exiling Ancestral Recall. Because they know if this thing resolves, they're going to lose.
Get a load of this guy.
Look at this.
Talk about poisoning the well.
This
oh
is
my
a
god.
beautiful dream.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You do this, then you untap and you play your basic swamp. You weren't on anything. You weren't on any of those bad cards. Why are you playing Lotleth Giant? That card's terrible. Why are you playing Thoracle? That's 5 points that you could spend on Moxen. You're just bluffing. And it worked. This is the beautiful dream of just playing Hermit Druid.
Okay. So your hot take is you should play Hermit Druid as a bluff.
Yes.
I have a better idea. Why don't you hold up 2 islands as a bluff?
So explain this to me.
Then you're playing Islands. That's a terrible
Explain
card.
this to me.
Yeah.
So that works once. Then what?
Now, honestly, that's part of the problem. I think this works best in online tournaments. Because in online tournaments, there's no one like,
That wasn't your take. I'm not gonna give you out of that.
Okay,
that wasn't your take.
Okay.
Your take was you should be playing Hermit Druid in decks.
as a bluff.
As a bluff.
As a bluff.
Not
saying this
in
works-
random tournaments.
I'm saying this works best in online tournaments because you don't have the thing where like looky-loos are just randomly like going around looking at decks, right? In online tournaments, all you have is the things that your opponent has revealed in each game. All you have is the match, right?
Okay, so your point is that it potentially forces your opponent to use removal.
Yeah, it forces them to use expensive removal.
What would you say if I told you that there are other 2-drops you could play in the format
And 1-drops.
that are good and also eat removal
Yeah.
and also get this, advance your game plan. So
Awesome.
why would you play that over the 1,000 other 2-drops you could play?
Well, okay. So I think there's something that's happens here where you always compare it to like the best option you could be playing in the slot, which is never what you want to do. You want to compare it to the worst card, right? This is something you're cutting your 100th card for, right? You're not comparing it to a Johnny, because the Johnny's crazy. He's like maybe the best 2-drop in the game. You're comparing it to Dark Confidant. You're comparing it to Luminarch Aspirant.
Dark Confidant?
Yes.
Hey, Luminarch Aspirant books.
Luminarch Aspirant
The
is
white tar
better
reveal.
is better than Hermit Druid if Hermit Druid is doing nothing.
Yeah, my 2-mana
At
2/2
least
is
it's
better
a
than your 2-mana
2/2.
1/1.
Well, is it?
It can
Yeah,
be.
the turn it comes in. Yeah, it dies to gut shot, but like,
So does Hermit Druid.
It's Hermit Druid.
ooh, okay. But here's the thing: you're saying, why don't I play Hermit Druid to bluff?
Yeah.
To not do anything, to eat removal. What if you also just played Hermit Druid to win the game?
Well, the problem with that is that takes
Then
a
you have to play
lot
bad cards.
of extra work.
Okay, but what if I am, say, the 4-color Nadu Breakfast Hermit Druid deck? That deck,
Okay,
which
yeah.
is a 4-color garbage platter deck.
Yeah.
If your Hermit Druid resolves, you win. If it doesn't resolve, or if it doesn't, or it gets removed or whatever, now you go towards a different game plan of, I'm going to do Nadu things. I'm going to Raw Dog an Oracle. I'm going to do something else. Mm-hmm. You could just play good Hermit Druid. And
could.
yes, that might just eat removal. You might get screwed.
I'll steal mana and give you the benefit of the doubt of yes, playing something that eats removal is good. But playing something that its only goal is to eat removal and doesn't do anything else, I think is not worth, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Because yes, it could eat a Force of Will and Ancestral Recall in this made-up land where they're doing that.
This is made up land.
Get
where
a
you
load.
have no other blue
Get a
cards
load of this guy.
and no other removal. in your
But
hand.
what if you just played Fairy Mastermind or something,
Yeah, or
but
something
that card
that does
sucks.
It doesn't suck.
Remind me, Fairy Mastermind?
It's flash 1 and a blue, flying.
That guy.
Whenever they draw their second card, you draw a card as well.
Yeah. As Flash? You like Flash?
Like, hypothetically, in this green deck that you're playing, if you're playing blue, I just have a hard time getting over the fact that you're playing a card where its only function is eating removal, and it doesn't attack. You don't really want to activate it if you don't have a way to abuse it.
Actually, I think you do. Like, 1 green mana, draw a basic land that's not bad.
Maybe your deck wants to fill the graveyard.
That is actually the secondary sort of caveat about this. I think a lot of decks, mill 30, draw a basic land, is actually really good. Like,
You gotta untap what they pay. Green to do it.
But
You could also just play,
it's good.
I don't know,
Like,
Ransack the Lab.
how much mana would you pay to mill 30 and draw a basic? I feel like that's like a 2-3 mana effect.
And you're paying 3 mana to do that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Give me a deck where you want to do
On a
it.
sorcery,
like,
maybe.
Delirium.
On a
I
black
think Absalom
sorcery,
Delirium.
Okay.
but not
You
on a
can
creature.
add-
Abzan Delirium.
Yeah.
Okay, name one other deck.
Temur Delirium.
Okay,
Abzan
you play
Nightmare.
Abzan Nightmare.
Yeah.
Would you run Hermit Druid and Abzan Nightmare as a dump yard draw basic card?
As a Delirium
at
player,
this.
I think that's crazy.
I was looking at this. I think you look at the numbers. Usually there's something like 5-ish cards where you've basically drawn a card if you mill it. That's like Uro. It's like Flage. It's like Savine's Wreck. It's like Fanatic
all those
Verus.
cards are better than Hermit Druid in this scenario.
Yeah. But like, I'm not telling you to cut Flage. Like,
But you got to cut something to play this Hermit Druid
Yeah, so
card.
cut Luminarch Aspirant.
So what do you cut? So now we're in a Death and Taxes Delirium shell.
I mean, that's basically what Abzan Nightmare is.
I mean, it's not playing Luminarch Aspirant.
Nah, but still. Okay. Anyway, there's like 5-ish cards where if you mill them, you've drawn a card, right? And then there's like another 10, 15-ish that are like Barrogoyfs, your Nethergoyfs, your Metamorphosis Fanatics, stuff that benefits
Hermit
from
Druid-
having a big graveyard. And milling 30 is very useful when you do
But
it.
like, isn't just like Overlord of the Baelmark just better here? You know what I mean?
It only does the thing
too
once.
mad.
You gotta wait. I don't know. Both are kind of clunky.
Now am I
It
gonna
does
have to
say
argue that Overlord of the Baelmark is a good card now?
No,
Maybe.
I believe you.
It's
It's a cantrip with.
You're probably right,
upside.
but I
my
always see
God.
people play it, and I'm just like, wow, I'm killing you. Why are you playing 2-mana cards that don't affect the board? And I'm wrong for that, because everything comes through my red player brain. But I still...
Thank you.
It's like, I still think
I
Shieldred
see
is bad.
that in this magical Christmas land that you're describing,
Yeah.
that like bluffing could be good in this random online tournament that you're doing.
Yeah.
But also, like, what if they don't have removal and they just let it resolve, and now you've wasted your turn casting a
think-
Hermit Druid?
I think that's more... Well, okay.
This is your graveyard dump.
Yeah, it's like... Hermit Druid's
So
actually
now you're
not
building your
that
deck
bad.
around it.
Well, no.
Which
I
is
think
not what you
don't-
said at the
no.
beginning.
My point is that you don't have to. I think in a lot of decks, you just have all this stuff that's randomly really good if you mill.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much just random graveyard synergy.
You
around
can't
nowadays.
just activate Hermit Druid. You need some extra caveat sometimes, like one extra creature plus the Narco Removal to do the Dread Return thing. But like,
So I'm thinking about it in like my medium Selesnya list.
Sure.
Milling doesn't do anything for me.
You're probably right. In that deck, there's less. I would be willing to bet there's at least a few bits of random synergy, like Lion Sash has more food, etc. But yeah, I think in a deck like that, it is maybe worse.
yeah.
I think you should be playing it in more green decks, not all green decks. But I do think in at least some, it's very interesting as a thing. There's also this sort of nested bluff, right? Where if your opponent watches this video, they realize you are listening to the Mox Monkeys, they hear about this, they're like, I'm not going to answer that. Then you go, all right. And it turns out it's still pretty good. You just mill 30. You mill a Savine's Wreck and a Fanatic Ronus, you draw this basic. That's basically Ancestral. Basically Ancestral. You've drawn 2 cards, plus a basic land.
I would say,
I'm pushing, go ahead.
thank you, more decks could be running Hermit Druid to do graveyard shenanigans. I wouldn't say it's a great thing to put in a deck just as a bluff.
I'm not going to say it's great, but I do think it's worth talking about, and I do think a lot of the time it will, because of that, if you untap with this, you win the game. I think there's a lot of cards that are very good. Your Johnnies, your Scavenging Oozes, your, random 2-drops that are very good. They accrue value, your Inties, right? But the threat of literally winning the game, like, you can let your opponent hit you with Rogbond. Yes, it's bad, But like I've won games where my opponent has hit me with a Ragavan. I've won games where a Johnny has flipped, right? You can leave these on board.
Two cards that are better than Hermit Druid in this scenario.
If you can leave these on
99%
board,
of the time.
if you think your opponent, if you think whatever you're doing is more important, right? Your Flash Hulk player can go, all right, the Johnny will hit me for 3 every turn. That sucks, but I'm just going to tutor and try and win the game. They can't leave up Hermit Druid because you're going to kill them faster than they can combo. So they have to sit there and they have to force, right? They have to force pitching Muddle the Mixture. Now they can't turn 3 tutor. They have to figure out an answer. And I will also say, I think this is something that gets better and better as the format gets faster and faster. Because, there's only one force, but now there's also force, there's subtlety, there's solitude, there's fury, there's pyrokinesis. So many cards are getting to the point where you are trading cards for tempo and value. And if your Hermit Druid manages to snipe a March of Otherworldly Light pitching a card, it manages to snipe
2 for 1.
Yeah, there's so many ways to have this go up in cards.
I can't get over the fact
still
that
like
you can
doing
just
it with
that
good
you can
cards.
just play a good card in that slot. That advances your strategy better.
What was it?
I just can't get past that.
Attacking my own position here, I think the worst case here is they just play Bowmasters. Bowmasters is a horrible, awful answer to the fact that why are you playing a 2-mana 1/1, idiot? But I
Yeah.
do think, even if they bolt it, it's still kind of bad.
I mean, I
but
can
it's not
see
that
in
bad.
the situations where it's good, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems like more often than not, it's gonna not do what you're describing.
I do think it is sort of partially a meta call, right? I think
Yeah.
this is better into something like a field of very heavy combo, where your combo deck's going to have like 1, maybe 2 points of interaction. Often they're going to be trading cards for value, right? Your Force of Wills, your, not Solitudes, but Path maybe. Also, if this eats a Path, it's great, because that's just rampant growth, plus you thought seized a card. Great value. A Road, also another card, where people are probably playing a Road. If you manage to get this eroded, it's great for value.
There's also, you got to think about, if you're talking about just like Hermit Druid value, it's just, I think where we've gone is, there is just a lot of just instant speed graveyard interaction.
Yeah.
So that makes it worse, because your unlicensed Hurts, Scoos, the Badger or Otter or whatever it's called, the green one.
This is very true.
There's just a lot of those running around.
If your goal is to get basics, why not just play land tax?
Got you, ass.
Because then you're playing land tax, okay?
Or just play Rampant Growth.
Yeah!
I disagree with all of this.
It puts it into play.
Yeah,
puts it
but
into
if
play.
they erode it, then you put it into play and they lose a card.
Or you could just not ramp and you could just play cheap cards.
Like Hermit Druid.
Okay, I'm going to attack with my Hermit Druid and I'm going to win the game.
This has been the Mox Monkeys Podcast. What do you think of Adam's hot take? Do you think he's dumb as rocks, or do you think he's a goddamn genius?
Do you think he's onto something? What would you play instead as a bluff? What would you play instead as a real card that's going to win you the game for 2 mana? Let us know in the comments below.
Just one more thing. Sorry, I just did the ending. But
All good.
In good faith,
Yeah.
I do think playing slightly suboptimal cards that bluff is an interesting concept.
There's something to be said.
I do think that's interesting.
I do
Playing
remember-
something that like they have to deal with because of if they don't, they might lose. I do think is an interesting rabbit trail.
We need more mind games in Magic.
So
Yeah, this is why you still need to bring your sticker sheets, so you can remind your opponent you could be on Mind Goblin. And on that note,
Mind Goblin these nuts. Bye.
Oh, got him. Bye.
I'm just kidding.